So the Digital Arts Project is a project that was funded through a National Disability Research and Development Initiative, and its focus really is on improving education and employment outcomes for young people with disabilities across Australia, with a particular focus on Indigenous youth, but also youth in regional and remote areas of Australia. The project has involved 87 young people across a number of locations.
The project was aimed to introduce our students to look into the area of the arts, and within the arts we had different forms of art, painting, drawing, photography and filmmaking. We wrote it in a way that given them their sense of identity, and that's bringing them back there to their cultural ways.
We really thought it would be a great opportunity for our senior students and our adult class.
Importantly, 40% of the Indigenous participants were successful in completing that Certificate 2. And certainly the data suggests that in very remote communities the success rate for Certificate 2 with Indigenous people is as low as 16%.
What CQUniversity has developed with Wodja Wodja has been a really good opportunity for students in a remote community. Bringing projects into remote communities is really important for the young generation and even the mature age students, because they aren't really able to travel and they don't have the access to certificate courses, and Wodja Wodja's building opportunities with CQUniversity to build school-based traineeships and certificate courses to be delivered within the classroom at Wodja. There was a spiritual connection and a cultural connection. It was great to be able to mesh together digital media, traditional art, and combine it together to create different projects for the kids.
Certainly one of the findings is the importance of having Indigenous people working in those communities and someone who has got that level of skill. The other interesting thing about Woorabinda, which was quite different from the other locations, was that Auntie Kay allowed participants who were outside of the age group to participate. She also allowed people that didn't necessarily identify as having a disability to be engaged. And while that created some challenges for us as researchers, because obviously we have our recruitment strategy, it equally was part of the success of the project, and it was overwhelmingly successful at Woorabinda compared to the other sites. And I put a lot of that down to the fact that Auntie Kay had that cultural understanding. She recognised that kinship and community is equally as important. I think we've learnt a lot from the fact that when you're working in those communities, you really need to be inclusive and allow anyone who wants to be involved to participate.
The desired outcomes was that so that we could get remote people as well as people in the regional areas to be able to produce their own projects, and given that a significance of their identity to who they were and what they could do with digital media. Over a process of the course running, we had a lot of interest of the students going out and exploring things to tell their story, the digital media stories, and also producing such stories that they're very proud of. So that's a lot of outcomes that we got out of this course, and also wanting to study more for further study as well.
It was good meeting other people and seeing their artwork and getting ideas of, some ideas for myself.
So the further results that I hope that this project's achieve is that the students and the teachers will be able to have some ongoing relationships with the study and the university. It's important that being in remote, that we are able to access that for the students to be able to be a part of Central Queensland University. And I've seen a lot of great kids coming here, and you know, we have a lot of issues, everyday issues, and just for them this was like a sanctuary for them to come and be who they are.
It's really a group collaboration, because they bounce off each other and they inspire each other, and it just creates a whole vibe within the classroom that the kids just started creating some amazing artworks. And then when they actually got to finally see what was happening or how it happened, then they were doing the musics and the voiceovers and putting that in there, and they're like, whoa, we just did all that. And they were really proud, and to see them all receive their certificates and their eyes is like, wow, look, I got a Cert 2 in Visual Arts Digital Media.
I would do another course. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Yep. It was good learning.
The particular approach that we took, which was mentoring and providing a lot of local support on site for those young people, was an effective strategy. So we certainly saw a significant increase in the capacity of those young people to use digital technology. But importantly, we also certainly saw evidence that there was an increase in interest in education and in future pathways, and certainly also in employment.